Greetings and salutations, viewers. Welcome to ConnectiCon 2016. I'm here with DJ Butler.
Hi.
Author of all sorts of awesome steampunk books. So we had to talk to you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
What sort of steampunk books have you been writing?
Well, in the steampunk space, I've got a couple of things. I've got a standalone novel called City of the Saints, which is about rival secret agents Sam Clemens and Edgar Allan Poe struggling over secret military technology in the Old West on the eve of the Civil War. I also have a series. Book one has just come out from Knopf, and book one, a series is called The Extraordinary Journeys of Clockwork Charlie. There's a bit of an homage to Jules Verne in the title, but book one is called The Kidnap Plot. So that's about a boy named Charlie. Charlie is a reader. He longs to be an adventurer, but Dad won't let him out of the house, and then one day trolls kidnap Charlie's father, and Charlie has to organize the rescue.
Sold.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Oh, excellent. Very good. I got a copy right over here.
What has your creative process been like with creating steampunk verses?
So I also write other kinds of stuff. I'm not sure my creative process is different in any of them. The things I write have some sort of real world connection. So they may be dystopian fiction set in a future world, but with real places and real historical connections. They may be. I've got a series coming out from Baen. Book one is called Witchy Eye: Flight of the Serpent's Daughter. It comes out in March. That is an epic black powder fantasy set in America in 1815. So that's not steampunk, but like the steampunk I write, there's a lot of real-world history or real-world connections or allusions through other sort of intertextual allusions to other kinds of real-world storytelling to undergird the story. So I think my process is the same for all of it, actually.
Yeah, we'll be here till Sunday.
What was the process like when you wrote your first book compared to where you are now? Has it gotten any easier?
Yes. So I have a lot more structure now. The first book, my first book I wrote when I was 16 in high school, and that was terrible, and I hope that no copies exist. Although it is possible that on a 3.5-inch floppy somewhere, someone has one, and I am therefore open to blackmail. But I started writing seriously in 2010. The first book I wrote, I was pretty excited about it. Then I gave it to two readers, my wife and a good friend of mine named Eric, and they both gave me the same piece of feedback, which was essentially negative. And I had my first ever migraine headache, and I stayed awake all night thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So I learned structure. I learned structure quickly. That's one of the big differences. So I think the process of being inspired is no different. But that's actually, I think, the smallest piece, the being inspired part. I think you start with something that's inspired. Everyone gets the being inspired part, and most people do nothing with it. And if you have the craft piece and the work piece, then more being inspired moments will happen. So that in some ways is it's not the easiest, but it's the piece you don't control. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, that stuff will happen anyway. So what's different is that I know more craft. I can look at a line of my own dialogue and say that's good or that's bad, or this needs to be moved, or I can say, look, there's too much time passes here between these two beats of the story, or what needs to happen next is, and all of that is skill. That comes from reading. From reading and thinking about what you're reading, from study, and more than anything else, from doing lots of writing.
Nice. Now, for all our viewers out there, where can they find all of your books to purchase and enjoy?
Well, you can find The Kidnap Plot in any bookstore has it or can order it. And I travel a lot, and I sign copies wherever I go. So if you go to your local Indie or Barnes & Noble, you may find signed copies. of the Kidnap Plot by Dave Butler. The other is a Barnes & Noble or someone could order them, but right now they're indie books, which means that they're not going to be on the shelves unless you order them. So you can get them on Amazon. Frankly, they'll be cheaper and you'll get them faster. City of the Saints is my steampunk novel. I've got Rock Band Fights Evil. Creshling is a dark science fiction novel. And then, of course, in the spring, Witchy Eye is coming from Baen, and that'll be in bookstores too.
Very cool. Definitely go check them out. I definitely want to.
Cool.
They sound like a fun time.
Thank you. That's the goal.
As always, check the YouTube channel for all of the other interviews and shenanigans we get up to while at ConnectiCon 2016, and we will see you all next time. As always, go be creative.